What are you missing? Why are you stuck in this rut? People don't realize that there's so much opportunity to grow, but yet they spend all their time sitting back and not doing anything about it. Hey everybody, this is Gregory Kotsaftis of the Pitching the Truth podcast. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. And as always, thank you so much for listening. Hello, and welcome to the Pitching the Truth podcast. My name is Gregory Kotsaftis, your host. Thank you guys for being here today. It's a beautiful day here in Denver, Colorado, as I sit back and relax and try to figure out what we're going to talk about this week. So today I was kind of reviewing my book and looking back through all the different things I've done to overcome my adversity and to come past the grind that it took to get me where I am today. The grind to greatness, as I like to say. I don't think I'm at greatness yet, but I'm certainly striving towards it, trying to improve myself every single day through reading, journaling, meditating, just challenging myself with different tasks. I recently spent a lot of time learning to trade Forex, currency, paper trade, not real money, but just something to learn, and just try to keep grasping at new ideas and new concepts every single day to get through the grind, to try to make myself a better person. So I was talking to a friend of mine, Molly Wendell, yesterday, who was fantastic. She's been helping me with my online course that I'm trying to put together, which will be put together. I'm not trying. It will happen. I don't know when, but hopefully soon, in the next couple months. So I was talking to her about, what is your message? She's like, what is your idea? What are you trying to do? And what I'm really trying to do here with this podcast and with all the other things I'm writing and researching and trying to put out there into the world is I'm trying to help men overcome adversity. I'm trying to help them grind their way to greatness. I'm trying to help them figure out what it is that they're lacking that they're not even aware of. So we had a really long conversation about different things that I think men don't realize. They're kind of pushed into a corner to be the type of person that provides for their family, the type of person that is expected to keep it all together at all costs. And I certainly was no different. I was in a position where I felt like I had to keep the finances going in order to maintain a lifestyle to keep my children and my family happy. I had to be strong. I couldn't ask for help. I had to be that person. I just had to be the strong guy. And I think a lot of men are out there in that same rut. And they may even be succeeding. They may be making a lot of money. They may have a great family. They may have a wonderful life, so they think. They may have the 911 in the garage. They may have a vacation home up in Vail or in the mountains or somewhere by the beach. But at the end of the day, are they really happy? Are they really getting what they want? Are they challenging themselves every day? Are they doing things that make them feel uncomfortable? I have now become a little bit obsessed with trying to find things that are difficult for me to do, things that I know will take time, not the quick fix of trying to do something that I can get instant satisfaction from, but something like MetaTrader 4 trading, something that takes time to learn, because someday maybe I'll want to do that full time. I don't know. It takes months. And I think a lot of guys out there just don't, even the guys that make money that are successful, sell themselves short because they spend most of their time just providing. One day blends into the other. Maybe they like to go out and have a couple drinks and hang out with their friends or do whatever they do, but they're not really challenging themselves. So my question to everybody out there listening is, what do you do to challenge yourselves? And I'm going to give you a couple ideas of some things that I think have helped me in order to get myself grinding through my past and moving into a future that I feel is fulfilling. Reading is the first thing that I want to mention. I spent a lot of time reading when I was incarcerated. Now I've committed to reading 50 books this year. And what I've done to hold myself accountable is I'm going to post every Friday on all my social media outlets the book I read and some notes about it. So it's really holding me accountable to the point where I have to read probably 300 to 400 pages a week. But so far, and this is week 6 of the year, we're in the second week of February, I've been just absorbed with all kinds of information that I've been gathering, and I've become a little bit obsessed. Every night I've got to sit down and read for an hour and a half. I've got to burn 30 to 40 pages based on the size of the book in order to complete my task by the end of the week. And the interesting thing is once I put it on social media that I was going to do this and I started sharing the books, people are like, wow, that's cool. I'm reading that book too. Accountability showed up. And I realized now I have to maintain this for an entire year in order to obtain my goal. A lot of people have said, wow, 50 books, that's crazy. That's way too many. I was a guy for years, never even read a book. Like, I didn't even know what a freaking book was. Like, I would barely crack a book. All I did was work, go to the gym, hang out, talk to people, have a glass of wine. Didn't really have anything to say. Didn't have any interesting topics to discuss. Now, since I've started becoming obsessed about reading, every single time somebody talks to me, I have something very interesting to add to the conversation and or share. And I truly credit that all to being an avid reader. And now that I have spent this much time committing to it, I am looking forward to this 1 year of 2019 of learning that. So that's one thing I'm doing. Another thing that I've been really focusing on is writing. I know all of you aren't out there, may not be writers, but I feel getting your ideas down on paper, especially what gets jogged in your mind after reading or having conversations with interesting people through my podcast, I've spent a lot of time now writing. So I've committed to write on Medium. I have an account on Medium. I try to write there at least once a week and put up some different ideas and thoughts about things that I've learned from reading and from other people and experiences I've had in order to try to share and help other people. So that's going to lead into building an online course, which again is going to take time. I probably will give the course away for free at first just to get some feedback and see what people think about it. But that's going to probably be a 60 to 90 day process this coming up the next couple months. So I'm going to spend a lot of time on that in order to focus on, again, trying something that's really difficult, not easy to do, learning different systems and processes in order to put it together. But also, again, I'm learning, I'm enjoying things. I'm going to be able to interact with more people, which is something that's important to me. And again, try to figure out how I can better help community, better help society in the long run. This, I also believe, will help me to get out there and speak more, which is something I really enjoy. I joined Toastmasters about 5 years ago. Again, another challenging thing. Public speaking is one of the greatest fears we've all been told, right? Some people say that it's a bigger fear than the fear of death, getting up and speaking in front of people. And I was no different. I had a very hard time when I first started speaking, but then I grasped upon it and I entered a couple speech contests. I did pretty well. I made Toastmaster of the Year in 2017. I was president of my club and I really enjoyed every bit of it. Again, that's something that I challenged myself. That was a grind. It wasn't a short, like you're going to do this today and you're going to get instant satisfaction. It took years of me practicing speaking in order to become a better speaker and a better communicator. But again, it's helping me get through my adversity and move myself forward in a direction that I feel is really important for personal growth. So that's the other thing I was doing. Last thing I tried, I took a free flying lesson with my daughters. Gave me that for my birthday, actually for Christmas. No, my birthday last year. And it took me a while to actually get out to the airport and do it because of weather and time and life. But once I did that and I got a taste of it, man, I'll tell you, it was just way too much fun and way too interesting because again, it's not something you can pick up and do immediately. Just going through the process of getting the plane ready to fly and checking multiple things in order to make sure everything is safe before you even leave the ground was fascinating to me. It's something that piqued my interest. Now, that's a pretty big financial obligation and a time obligation, but I started doing some research on it. And who knows when that will happen in my lifetime, but I'm certain it will. At some point in time, I'll go back and complete that and get my pilot's license. Another long-term goal that's going to take time to get together, but the journey of going through this goal is going to lead me to a better place, to become a more interesting person and lead a more fulfilled life. So I guess what I'm telling all of you guys here, I guess what I'm trying to share is that if you don't even know that your life is kind of in a rut, if you don't even know that you're just grinding out and you're not really grinding to greatness, you're just grinding it out every day. And even if you're not, wealthy, even if you're just starting out, if you're coming out of divorce, if you're coming off of a major event, and even if it's not a major event, maybe you're just looking around like, wow, is this it? Is this all I have? Is this all I got today? Because this gets kind of monotonous, right? Day in and day out, if you're doing the same thing over and over again. I think it's really, really difficult for people to see the fact that they're in a rut. I think people will understand, especially men, because they're told to shut up and grind it. Shut up and be quiet. Just get it done. I know that's the way I was brought up. And for years, I thought that's what made me a better person. That's what made me a better father. That's what made me a better man. That's what made me a bigger part of society. It was just working, running a business, and spending all my time trying to make money and then hanging with my kids. But I quickly learned that that was not the case. And I've also seen it in so many people, especially relatives of mine, who they're all obsessed about their job. It's all they want to talk about is their job. Well, how things, it's a big thing in Massachusetts. Like, how things going? Well, you know, work's tough. Yeah, I'm so busy. I'm so fucking busy. I'm so busy, I don't know what to do with myself. My brother and I have a big joke about that with our uncle because he's an electrician down Cape Cod. And that's all, every time we talk to him, that's what he says. Oh, I'm so busy. So I got to turn work away. I got so much work. I'm just so busy. That's his identity. That's how he identifies with himself. But ask him about any other random subject, he has no idea what to say. And nor does he want to, because his life is the same thing over and over and over again. I'm not here to pick on everybody to say that that's a bad thing. You know, some people are good people, sweet people. They just like to live their life that way. But in today's world, with so much information flying around and so much opportunity to do so many various things that do not cost a lot of money. I mean, reading doesn't cost any money, obviously. Writing doesn't cost any money. Talking to people and trying to become more interesting and studying and learning is pretty much free. And I think people don't realize that there's so much opportunity to grow, but yet they spend all their time sitting back and not doing anything about it. And I don't think they know what they're missing. And that's what my message is here today. What are you missing? Why are you stuck in this rut? Do you know you're in a rut? Have you taken any time to evaluate the fact that you might be in a rut? Have you spent any time trying to analyze whether or not you're succeeding or if you're just treading water? Have you placed any emphasis on what you're going to try to do tomorrow to become a better person? Have you set any long-term reasonable goals? These are things you need to ask yourself. You know, I had a very good friend of mine who recently just quit drinking altogether. He said, I'm not going to drink for 90 days. It's kind of like Sober October, right? I was listening to Joe Rogan. He was talking on his podcast that him and all of his buddies did a Sober October challenge, and then they doubled down and they had an exercise challenge on top of it. So nobody could do any drugs or alcohol for a month, and they had an exercise challenge on top of it. These are the kind of things I'm talking about. So my friend decided that he wasn't going to drink for 90 days, and I found that to be cool. I'm like, that's awesome, man. I'm going to support you, try to get it done. And the experiences he had of weight loss, mental clarity, just understanding and hearing and seeing things in a different light and realizing that he could still be social, still do great things and didn't have to drink, I thought was really interesting. And I think a lot of people, again, don't think of such the simplest thing. A smallest change in your life can help get you out of a rut. It can put you on the path to greater things. It can help you see the world more clearly. So that is what I'm planning on doing with my message. That's what I'm going to share through the next couple of weeks. That's what I'm going to share with different various guests that I have that are going to be coming on the podcast. We're going to be talking to them about it. And I hope you guys all enjoy this. I would greatly appreciate any kind of feedback you could give me. If you feel so, you feel free to email me. The link is here on Instagram or Facebook, or even on this podcast. Reach out to me. Otherwise, it's greg@veracitygp.com, and send me a note. Let me know what you think. And for now, that's what I got. But thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.